Well, well, well. Look what the cat dragged in. It's me. I'm back. For now. So, I have been absent. Not that anyone was asking. But if you were, it's me. I'm back. So, to explain a bit of my absence, I have found myself gainfully employed. So I have been working and haven't had time to read or make videos like I did, which is good, you know. It's the only way society wants you. Working hard, whatever. Anyways, in October, I only read 6 books. I had lofty aspirations to read more. However, like I said, I found myself gainfully employed once more in a field that I never thought I would go back to. But, sometimes you gotta do crazy things to make sure your family eats. Am I right, ladies and gentlemen? Anyways, October. So, I started off the month feeling a little way because I don't know, I don't remember last month at this point anymore. It's all a blur. It all blurs together at a certain point. But I was reading some romance, after reading things that expand my mind, I tend to get a little bit like, but what about that junk food for my brain? So, the first book I read in October was The Fake Mate by Lana Ferguson. I think I just found this through the Libby app that comes through the library. And I was just, I'll be honest with you. I'll be real. Let's be frank with one another. I really had an itch for a werewolf romance. Yeah. So I rated that one 2.5 stars. It was okay. 2 doctors, a fake mate plotline. Hey, it's in the title. She has to pretend to be his mate so he doesn't get fired because they find out he's an alpha at his job, and allegedly that's a bad thing because, there's stereotypes in this world, a concept, right? And then they end up becoming not so fake mates. Spoiler alert. It was okay. Nothing to write home about. Nothing groundbreaking in the genre. I enjoyed it for what it was. The next book, however, and what's really funny about this is that this is my first 5-star romance. 10 out of 10 for me. The Entanglement of Rival Wizards. Oh, God. It was so good. By Sarah Rash. Whatever. I'm so sorry, Sarah, for mispronouncing your last name. Please forgive me. 5 stars. It's a gay romance. It's enemies to lovers. They're not really enemies. They're just kind of competitors in their field. There's magic in this universe. And they're vying for a coveted position in academia. One for reasons of familial ties. One for reasons of past traumas and wanting to give back to the community. They both end up having to work together on said project. Calamity ensues, baby. And it was great. I don't know. I think because I am someone who is also highly traumatized, I also have the CPTSD. So reading a character who has PTSD and trying to love someone. I don't know, it resonated in some way with me. I can't really tell you, like, exactly describe to you why it resonated so hard with me, but that was a big part of it. Exploring themes of, because it's so hard to love someone who you feel like deserves the biggest love when you have kind of these burdens on your emotional trajectory of life. So I don't know. There was a lot of good themes in this. I tend to like gay romance more than straight romance, if I'm honest with you. Yeah, I don't know. It was great to me. I'm gonna read it again. I got that through my library, but I am gonna purchase it at some point because I enjoyed it so thoroughly. Yeah, first 5 star for me. Because here's the thing, I'll be honest with you, it's really hard for me to give a romance book 5 stars because most of the time they're not reinventing the wheel, and I'm not looking for that, okay? I'm not looking for a romance book to reinvent said wheel. I'm just, looking for a good story. And half the time, they're good stories, but they're just kind of flawed in some ways that humans are flawed. So I guess it's accurate in that way. But if it resonates very deeply with me and I can see myself in these characters, I think that's when I can tend to like, okay, you get 5 stars. And for this, 5 stars, baby. The next book I read was Mate by Ali Hazelwood, and this was highly anticipated for me, at least. I really liked Bride. I don't remember what rating I gave Bride when I read it. I can insert it here. But Mate, I really liked Mate, but I also really didn't. It kind of gave me like a literary edging, literary blue balls, and that sounds very misogynistic of me, and I'm so sorry. But it was kind of like, because like they had to abstain, and like it was just like this girl who has been through so much already in her life and still continues to give of herself, then is asked to give more. It felt a little unfair to me, but I gave it 4 stars, which, you could say is generous or you could say is not. I liked it, but I also kind of really didn't. So take with that what you will. The next book I read, Play to Win by Kelly Jamieson. I don't even remember where I found this book. It was probably on Libby when I was scrolling through the romance section looking for something. Yeah, this book was terrible. 1 star. Not to talk bad about, I guess I'm just not a hockey person. Well, I'm not. I'm not a sport person at all. I don't care about the sports ball. I don't care about sports in general. If you do, more power to you. But yeah, I think it's useless. It's just modern day gladiators. We're just watching them get CTE in real time and cheering for it. But what do I know? I don't play sports. Play to Win, very misogynistic. It's this girl who is down on her luck. Her brother's a gambling addict who lives in Vegas. Yikes. His bookies are after her because he gave them her name and number, which, brother, no. She meets this, he's not a hockey player. He was a hockey player. He's like I don't know, he does nerd shit for them. Like, he recruits hockey players. Like I said, don't know anything about anything, so don't quote me on any of this. She meets him while she's waitressing at her job. They essentially run off together because that's his last day in Vegas. He's moving to California. I don't fucking know. He's moving somewhere. She ends up going with him. They get married in like a Vegas chapel because they're like blasted drunk. She moves with him. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's a hard read in some ways because it's like this girl is kind of depressed because her life is falling apart and she left her only family to move states away. And the guy is like, you gotta let him make his own mistakes. And it's like, yeah, but like, that's her only family, brother. Like, she's doing the best she can with what she has. And he comes from a privileged background and doesn't really understand a lot of that. Whatever. Yeah, they do things that adults do. And they end up falling in love, I guess. Yay. If you ask me, well, why did you read that? It was short and it was romance, okay? And that's what I needed at the time. The next one I read was Shield of Sparrows by Daphne Perry. God damn it. This book took me so long to get through. So long. My God, did it drag on. I think the beginning and the end were very like, oh, I was in it. The middle, we could have cut a lot of that up, Daphne Perry. I'm going to be so honest with you. There was so much of this book that was unnecessary and it just kept going and go. It's like, at a certain point, I get it. At a certain point, you especially when it comes to fantasy, okay, we already have this whole overarching thing where it's like we have to build and flesh out this whole world, okay? It's different from the world we live in right now, so I have to explain things to you. That's well and good and fine, but at a certain point, when we're just kind of doing the same things every day and this girl keeps thinking the same things, you're just thinking like, I just don't even care what happens to you anymore, dude. I really don't. And like, it's this girl, and like, I can't even really explain this book to you if I'm really honest with you. This girl, her sister was supposed to get married with this guy, okay? However, the guy comes to town. He wants her. He doesn't want her sister. Everybody's all in an uproar about it because she's not the one. She's not the one. Her sister was supposed to be the one. She ends up marrying this guy. However, at the marriage ceremony, the guy's not there. His little like consort or whatever the fuck is there, and he's signing for him. So already we're just like, the consort, he's called the Guardian, which we couldn't have had a little bit more creativity with that one. Like, the Guardian is kind of mean to her and he's kind of rough and tumble. Her dad wants her to kill him. I don't know. I'll tell you, it doesn't really matter what happens because most of this book is just such wish-wash. They go to different parts of the kingdom and like, I don't really care. A lot of people die, some people don't. And then the book ends on somewhat of a cliffhanger where we're supposed to be like, oh my God, what happens next? I don't care. 2.5 stars. It was okay. It wasn't like the worst book. Play to Win was terrible. But it definitely wasn't the best. It was okay. I'm sorry. If you like it, more power to you. I personally did not. Anyways, and then the last book that I finished this month was The Buffalo Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones. A lot of my issues with books is that they can be literary masterpieces, right? They can have beautiful sentence structures that lead you into mysterious and like different places that you're not expecting, and that's great. I love being sucked into a book. However, sometimes some people put too much. And then it goes from a beautiful coffee to an overly sugar-fied milkshake that contains coffee. Do you understand that analogy? Does that make sense to you? We can tend to go overboard. And writers, as we are, do go overboard. But an editor is supposed to kind of reel you back in a little bit. This book, I really liked the core of the book. Okay. The envelope, the bookend that surrounds the book, because there is like an overarching story enveloping the inner story. The envelope that envelops the book, stupid. Could have been tossed. Would have been great. I would have, this book would have been at least 4.5 stars if we would have taken out the excessive outer edges of this book. As it stands, it's 2.5 stars for me. Man, there were so many parts of this book that I really liked. A lot of the parts of this book were really slow. Some parts of this book were very gory, but it's a horror novel. It served to its point. It served its, I knew it was horror going into it. So it's not like I'm going to complain about gore and guts when I knew what I was getting myself into. It's mostly that like outer story that was just so unnecessary and made me feel just weird finishing this book. I remember when I finished this book, I took a week where I didn't read anything, which is abnormal for me because I usually am reading every day. Sometimes just at night to go to sleep, but mostly I read every day when I can. After finishing that book, I felt just like, really? Like, that's how we're choosing to end this? I thought, because there's basically two different endings, because like I said, there's the main story and then the envelope surrounding it. So the overarching story, stupid, dumb, didn't need to be there. Overarching story is this girl who needs to write a paper, or fuck if I know, something like that. And she finds out her great grandfather's journal. So the main story is of her great whatever grandfather's journal. And that story is like, he's a pastor, he's a priest, pastor, whatever. And he meets with like a Native American man. And the man like tells him his story every Sunday after church when he sees them. And it like, I feel like it was poignant in some pockets of respect, because it's like, it's talking about some of these things are things that actually did happen. You know, obviously there are some truths in this, some terrible things that, like, some terrible ways in which people would segregate, and some terrible ways in which people would treat people who weren't white or Anglo-Saxon. So I thought, you know, there was a lot of good parts in it, but there were, I don't know, dude, it was just, oh man, it could have been so good. And I know some people probably love this book, and good for them. I really liked parts of this book, but as a whole, as what it is, the book that was like, that I read, I got it from the library, the whole thing, it wasn't very good to me. 2.5 stars. And then for the rest of last month, because I started The Raven Scholar, and I have a lot to say about that. However, I finished it in November, so you will have to wait to hear my thoughts on it. So yeah, like I said, didn't read a lot. Wasn't like the best reading month for me, honestly, in general. The only one I really like was The Entanglement of Rival Wizards. And I don't think that's a universal one. I don't think if you enjoy romance that you will automatically enjoy that. I think you have to have a subsect of like queer identity and, you know, maybe some understanding of trauma and PTSD, or even like lived experience of that, and it'll probably resonate a lot more with you. And that's only if like all those themes, whatever. But I don't think that's something that like I could recommend to every person who enjoys romance and they would like love it. I think a certain select group of people would adore that book. I think it was written well. I think it was done very well. But anyways, other than that, yeah, not great books. Right now I'm reading, what am I reading right now? Oh, I'm reading Hemlock and Silver, and that's been really good. I've been enjoying that. So I don't know, I've been really into the fantasy stuff lately. I guess that good old escapism, you know what I mean? But anyways, I hope y'all are doing well. I hope you're taking care of yourself and those around you. It's tough out there right now, y'all. I know it's difficult. It's easy to say that you should care about other people. It's hard to put that into practice because the automatic response to that is it's hard enough to care for myself. But here's what I would like for you to ponder on in your daily thoughts is when everyone is trying to look out for other people, it's less of a burden than when you're just trying to look out for yourself. Communities are stronger than individuals. And that's just the message that I would like to put out there as a whole, especially at this time of year where food stamps have been cut for a lot of people. And we're all kind of struggling out here trying to do the best and trying to, you know, get presents for our kids, for our family, whatever, for the coming holidays. I hope you remember that everyone is human at the end of the day, and we can all be selfish in some ways and mean or whatever, but it is our responsibility as humans to care about humanity as a whole. So that's all I gotta say. I will try to put out some videos this month. I might not. You might only see book wrap-ups until the end of the year. I haven't had time to do tarot things. I've still been doing tarot things. It's just been the sped-up version of the thing that I have done for 2 years now. So maybe I'll do a video on that and how I speed up the process, as it were. But if you think that's boring, then I won't. Or I will, but nobody will watch it, which is also fine. Anyways, yeah,